Welcome to Copper's Bright New Age, a video series that celebrates the large volumes of copper being used in the fastest-growing energy technologies of our time. During the 21st century, the world will move from an energy landscape dominated by fossil fuels to one dominated instead by clean, renewable power sources, many of which use about 4 times as much copper. Now that solar electricity is cost competitive with other kinds of power plants in many regions, investment growth in solar utility-scale power generation is dramatic. In North America, well over 3,000 megawatts of solar power plants are being added every year.
The leader in distributed solar has certainly been Germany. In the North American context, California is the leader in terms of probably broad-scale adoption. Within Canada, Ontario has been the leader, and when we launched our FIT program, it was the most comprehensive program in North America. We've got targets for renewables, so non-hydro, wind, solar, bioenergy. We're looking at 10,700 megawatts in service by 2021. Through the feed-in tariff program since 2009, we've contracted, I think, about 4,600 megawatts of renewable energy. That's a significant amount in a pretty short time.
In 2013, it rose to 30% of installed capacity, and in the first 2 quarters of 2014, the United States had installed more solar electricity, new generation-wise, than any other technology. This year has been another landmark year for solar. Another 45 gigawatts of solar installed globally, 33% growth over the installed base, the total installed base. And of course, the recent reports from the International Energy Agency, which forecast that the sun is going to be the most significant source of electricity on the planet by 2050.
Copper has played and will continue to play a significant role. You're taking a broad array of solar panels, and you have to collect that energy up. So think of it as sort of a bunch of smaller electrical cords that run around a very large site. Those are all copper lines collecting that energy. As you collect it up, then those lines have to get bigger until you ultimately step it up onto the grid.
Copper is now used in small wires that interconnect photovoltaic modules, earthing grids and electrode earth pegs, horizontal plates, naked cables, DC cables that interconnect photovoltaic modules to inverters, AC cables that connect inverters to metering systems and high protection cabinets, high voltage AC cables, communication cables, inverters, power electronics, ribbons, and transformer windings.
We did a survey of all of the international efforts that we could find where people were taking a hard quantitative look at what it would take to get to a low carbon future. Electricity's share of our energy use tends to go up in these futures. They all agreed you got to get the fossil fuels out of the electricity system. Most of them, by the way, turned to hydro, wind, and solar.
So one of the advantages of solar is that it's produced when the sun shines. The sun usually aligns with our peak energy demands. So if we think about the summer and the peak demand we have primarily for air conditioning loads, that lines up very nicely with when solar is producing energy.
Worldwide, Bloomberg New Energy Finance predicts that up to 74% of all new utility-scale power added in the next 15 years will be solar PV and concentrated solar power, including, of course, a lot of copper. Investment is expected to rise to $630 billion each and every year. At the Fraunhofer Institute in Germany, researchers are working on making solar even more economical by replacing the silver and lead in solar cells with copper and nickel plating. This is one more way that copper use could be essential for solar power. Utility-scale solar electricity, another success story for Copper's Bright New Age.